Hi everybody, it's Catherine. My project today is using one of the online exclusives. This one is just a stamp set. I'm using the Everyday Details dies along with it. These are going to be available on July 3rd, okay, the day before Independence Day. And I'm going to be doing, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get a kit. The problem being with the new release, they gave us this beautiful pack of paper, but there's only a few for Halloween, and the rest is all New Year's and Christmas. So I wouldn't be able to do a kit. I'd have to buy so much just to get you guys that much little bit of paper, and I don't know if I could get all of the kits out of that. So what I'm doing today is I'm using the To Market Designer Series paper because there's a few in there that would be good for the background of Playful Ghosts. I'm picking Playful Ghosts because I have recently bought things for Halloween for my kit that go perfectly with this. So let me show you the rest. Now this is the other Halloween set, and it does have dies. It is cute. Maybe later I'll do a kit with this, but it's adorable. It has the cauldron, cat, a raven, some books, a little hocus pocus, happy Halloween, double toil and trouble, and some bubbles. And this has like a little bit of to have leaking out drips and stuff like that, and a broom. So this is really cute too, but the things I bought for the kit really go with the ghosts. So I decided to do that. So I showed you that one. There's also this goes well with the paper. It's called Iconic Imagery, and it has these dies. It has some labels and the little shapes there. There isn't really a Halloween, well, there's leaves this fall. There's leaves for this. But this is a nice set too, and this really goes with the paper very well. Okay, also these are called Cherry Cobbler and Pearl Adhesive Backed Berries. These are adorable. I really like those. This is an adorable set too, Naughty and Nice. It goes with the Labeled with Love Punch. And there's cute Santa hat, elf shoes, or elf hat, whichever you like. A bow, a little postage, waves. It says Wrapped with Love, Naughty, Nice. From the North Pole elves. From the Kitchen of Mrs. Claus. This is just a little decoration here too. And from St. Nick. And then we have a nice circle. I'm guessing this circle would go with one of our circle punches. Yeah, the 1 3/4 inch punch would do that very nicely. And then this one here would go with the Labeled with Love punch. Okay, so that's a nice set. And that's all. Oh, one more set of paper. This paper is nice. It's called The Season of Green and Gold. Now, all these will be available on July 3rd. I'm not sure if they're doing it while supplies last or they're going to be restocking them maybe, because some of the online exclusives have stayed around a while. They've restocked. Okay, and there's a couple more sets that I didn't purchase, but you'll be able to look at them on July 3rd, which is not that long away. Okay, so it's Playful Ghost. The box measures 2 by 3 1/4 by 1. It opens like this, and inside I have 2 packages of ghost candies. They're kind of like the Sweet Tarts, but they're in the shape of little ghosts. I just thought this was the cutest thing for Halloween, and we end up having a little ghost stamp set, so I love it. Okay. So we know what we're using. What we need is a piece of pumpkin pie that is 6 1/2 by 6. Some basic white. We need a rectangle. I use the Everyday Details die. This one is about 2 3/4 by 1 3/8. We need a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock for the sentiment. And then of the To Market DSP, we need 2 pieces of the polka dots that are 1 3/4 by 3. 2 that are 3/4 by 3, and 2 that are 1 3/4 by 3/4. Okay, so let me get my Simply Scored. Please subscribe and hit the like button. That helps my channel out. And if you'd like to purchase from me, please put this host code in for any purchases under $150, not including your shipping and tag. And we're going to start on the 6.5 inch side. As I said before, it's 6.5 by 6. And we're going to score at 1, 3, 4, and 6. Turn it to the 6 inch side and score at 1, 4 1/4, and 5 1/4. And then fold and burnish your score lines. Now what we're going to do, we're going to start with the 1/2 inch rectangle over here. There's a 1 inch strip on the bottom and a 3/4 inch strip over here. All right, and this is what we're going to be doing. All right, so we're going to start over here. I'm going to go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up. And then go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the first score line, and then wedge each side of that square. Go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge that square. So that's what the bottom looks like. Okay, now flip it over, and we're going to go to the second score line, cut it to the second score line, and then take these 4 pieces off, and then wedge up into that 1/2 inch rectangle there. Go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the 3/4 inch rectangle, and wedge both sides of the square. Go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the rectangle, and wedge the square. Okay, and then you want to round your corners of this top flap, and that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done. We're going to get our tear-in tape and put it on what's left of the 1/2 inch rectangle next to the score line. Take the backing off. Okay, flip it over, then flip the side with the tape, flip the other side to meet it. Okay, this is the back where the seam is, and then you're going to glue the bottom shut. Now we're going to get our DSP, these largest ones, front and back, long sides and short sides. Okie dokie. Now let's do our stamping. Okay, we need a piece of basic white first, and I'm going to stamp with Tuxedo Black. Okay, and then I'm going to fussy cut this. Okie dokie. And then we need a piece of scrap, and we're going to take our Daffodil Delight rectangle from the Everyday Details dies, and I'm going to take the Trick or Treat stamp, and I'm just going to use Daffodil Delight ink, and I'm going to go all over this piece. Sometimes I'm going to stamp off, just leave it, just so that everything is nicely covered with Trick or Treat. Okay, now let's put that aside, and we'll do our coloring. I'm using light and dark pumpkin pie, dark Daffodil Delight, light granny apple green, light flirty flamingo, light smoky slate and a color lifter. So let's start with the smoky slate. And I'm just going to carefully go down the side and then where his body meets the top of the pumpkin, and then under the hat. Okay, and then I'm going to use the color lifter just to go over those lines so that it's a little less stark. Just going to blend it a little bit. Alright, and then I'm going to use light pumpkin pie, and I'm going to do the bottom of his hat here, top of the pumpkin, and on the side of his eyes, it is like the inner pumpkin. Okay, then I'm going to take the dark pumpkin pie and do the rest of his hat and the rest of the pumpkin, not the eyes or the mouth. I screwed up a little bit, but that's okay. I should have used the small end. All right, and then I'm going to take the dark Daffodil Delight and I'm going to go in the eyes and in the mouth. And that helps out what I screwed up. Okay. Then I'm going to use the light Flirty Flamingo and I'm going to do his tongue. And I'm just going to make a little cheek right above the corners of his mouth, and then I'm just gonna go over those cheeks so they're a little bit less stark also. Okay, and then I'm gonna use light Granny Apple Green for his stem. Okay, now we have this. So we need his box, and we're going to put 2 of the Candy Ghosts in. Now, I got most of my stuff from Oriental Trading, and it was on sale, so I'm not sure if I think most of it is sold out, but they may restock it. All right. So now we need some linen thread. I'm going to double it. And make sure, oops, I never took out my piece here. I don't know if I can now, but let's see. Yeah, I can. Okay. All right. So I want it to be on this side. So we're going to wrap it around and land up over here. And then I'm going to tie a bow over here. And then I'm going to split these apart a little bit on this side. And I'm going to get a dimensional, and I'm going to set them that way right in the middle so they don't move too much. All right, and then I'm going to flip over my Trick or Treat, and I'm going to put 3 on here. Did that already? Yep. And then I'm going to tilt this slightly to the left on top. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on my ghost. And I'm going to put him right in the middle. Maybe a little bit farther to the bottom. Okay, then we need our piece of Granny Apple Green. And we're going to use the Boo stamp with some Tuxedo Black. And I'm just going to cut this into a rectangle. And we're going to put Boo right there. I didn't do this straight. There we go. All right, I'm just going to attach that with liquid glue. I'm going to put it right here above the ghost, just like that. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.